Kia ora, I'm Jillian Sullivan and I'm going to be talking to you about my essay, Because I'm Reading Cendrars, which is in Strong Words number 4. There were two things I wanted to do with this essay. It's about the experience that my partner Brian Turner and I had going through the middle stages of Alzheimer's. So the first thing that was a big concern about writing the essay was how to keep that balance between writing authentically about what we were going through in a way that would resonate with other people who were also going through something like that, and to keep the respect for Brian's own privacy, making sure that I looked after him in the writing of the essay. That was the first concerns I had. One of the ways I dealt with that was by giving Brian a voice in the essay, by some of his poetry and by interviewing him about Alzheimer's and his dialogue, our conversations, and then asking him to check the essay for me. And he read it. He read the whole essay out loud. It was the most beautiful reading. It was so precious. And he was really happy with it. He just changed, I think I had a couple of clumsy sentences, and his editor's eye came down on me for that. The second thing I wanted to do with the essay was, because it was about such an intensely private, sad at times journey, I wanted to broaden the focus of the essay by layering in other stories and other viewpoints. So I did that through the French poet Cendrars, who wrote at one point, he said, "We're always sad inside, but we don't want to be sad anymore." And I think that was just how Brian and I felt. We're always sad inside about the Alzheimer's. And we overcame that, well, Brian particularly, by his sense of wonder, which he always kept for the world around him and for music. And I wanted to capture that. And I also layered in other creatures, because if you're talking about what makes a life meaningful, I've got 3 rescue cows, and one of the farmers said to me, because with a rescue cow you don't ever eat them, breed from them, use them, milk them, they just live out their life. And a farmer said, "What use are they?" And so, but the cows, they have their own life they really care for each other. They enjoy their life, and their life is just meaningful to themselves. And the same with, I think, when you've got Alzheimer's, it might look like you're not a productive person in this economic world. Brian wasn't able to write as he used to, but he still had... We both still had a really meaningful life full of love and value, and which was really important to Brian. He said, "I want to see in my heart and my head that I am of use." It was really important to him. So wood chopping and wood gathering was a really big part of his life, but also just keeping up that sense of wonder and respect for the world around him. And he never lost that till the moment he died. So hopefully some of this comes through in the essay. And I'll just read a little bit about Brian and I. We're out looking for his saw. He used to lose things. And he had this red-handled saw that was really special to him. So I'll just read this short piece about that. Thank you. We examined Brian's careful piles of sapling branches and looked through the flattened grass for a discarded, forgotten saw. "I think someone may have taken it," Brian says. No one in the village would take anything of yours. They wouldn't do that to you. But things go missing, get shifted around at home. People respect you too much, Brian. Does it help if you think it's Alzheimer's that's misplacing things? Is that easier than thinking someone would steal from you? Yes, he says, but it's such a bugger. The dog at the house across the paddock stops barking, and now it's only the sound of the stream. Ah, it's talking to us, he says. The ancient and younger trees, the rapids and glides, the harvest of branches, how industrious he has been. He's sawn what he can reach and placed the leafy twigs behind the trunks out of sight of the path, left tidiness and order. Come on, saw, I call out, show yourself. It could be someone's come and taken it. We'll find it, I say. We stop to look at a huge jumble of bulldozed trunks. Brian has chopped and gathered there too. I walk down a dip. There's another stack he's made, the red of the saw handle beside it. I've found it, I call. I carry the saw over to Brian. Oh, his face lights up. You are the life of my life. And then he must try out the saw. A white mist spirals up the slope of Rough Ridge, so white on the sunny slope it is like smoke, and closer in the trees it's like a grey cloud coming for us. Brian, it's getting colder, there's fog coming. I want to get this branch, he says, not wanting to give up, though the branch curves and resists his saw. The air is sunny, and then it's as if it's raining, but so fine a rain I can't tell if I am imagining it, and turn around looking through the air. The greyness has reached us. Even the hills are blocked out. The branch drops, and Brian picks up the long length in one arm, the saw in the other, and we set up off the track. I tell him about the men in the submersible missing on their trip to the Titanic, how they could be 3 kilometres or more down under the sea, so helpless, while people search for them. We are walking home through the trees and mist, the trees dark shapes and the air ethereal, Brian holding a branch and a saw. Thanks very much.